first panel discussion, the topic for which is AI in action at automotive manufacturing. And to participate, I would like to invite once more on stage Mr. Anuj Guglani, founder and CEO, WAFit Group. Welcome him once more, ladies and gentlemen. Please also welcome Mr. Gaurav Gupta, Deputy Managing Director, MG Motor India. An industry veteran with more than 28 years of domain experience and multiple CEO, MD roles in the automotive industry in ASEAN, Mr. Gupta was instrumental in leading General Motors' transformation in Indonesia for a sustainable presence. An alumnus of St. Stephen's College, Delhi University, Mr. Gupta has been instrumental in MG's new age transformation and the highly successful launches, including MG Hector, India's first internet car, ZS EV, the first pure electric internet SUV, and the MG Gloucester, India's first autonomous level 1 premium SUV. Please also put your hands together for Mr. Vijay Sethi, Chairman, Mentorkart and Crafsol. For Mr. Sethi, the transition from CIO to Chairman was a natural next step. With more than 30 years of experience in large-scale IT projects, community development projects, talent development, and employee engagement, Mr. Sethi is a proponent of digital technologies like cloud, mobility, artificial intelligence, RPA, AR, VR, and cyber security. With a passion for sustainability, Mr. Sethi has done extensive work on water conservation, tree plantation, saving electricity, livelihood, and women empowerment. Mr. Sethi has been recognized as CIO of the Year, Super League CIO, Champion CIO, Global CIO Hall of Fame, Most Influential CIO, and India's Best IT Manager. To welcome him, ladies and gentlemen, all our guests with a round of applause just now. Thank you. I'd like to invite Mr. Hilal Khan, VP and Operating Head IT, Honda Cars India. With almost 30 years of deep IT experience and a strong understanding of the automotive business, Mr. Khan adds a value in areas of digital transformation, IT strategy, IT consulting, and corporate planning. An agile, inclusive, responsive, and strong communicator, adept at ideation and implementation, he is an expert in leveraging new age IT technologies such as IoT, blockchain, RPA, analytics, machine learning, artificial intelligence to deliver business value. Mr. Khan is a member, Global IT Management Board, Honda Motors, Japan, Vice Chairman, Asia Pacific IT Committee, Honda, Thailand, and Chairman, IT Committee, Honda, India. I would also like to invite Mr. Ajay Mittal, Head, Digital and Analytics, Volvo Eicher CV. Mr. Mittal has 20 plus years of experience in data analytics and delivered business transformation solutions for automotive, manufacturing, and telecom. He developed the digital services platform My Eicher with connected and enterprise services, supporting customer operations, channel partner operations, and internal stakeholders. In his free time, Mr. Mittal loves to listen to ghazals by Jagjit Singh. Please also welcome Mr. Aman Singhal, Head, Digital and Analytics, JK Tyres. Mr. Singhal is a seasoned digital strategy and product management professional specializing in digital business building for clients across the globe. In his own words, what he does for a product is conceptualize, plan, build, operate, scale, improve, and repeat. He has played the role of product leader and CPO at multiple digital business building and digital transformation initiatives across the globe, conceptualizing, building, and launching at scale digital products. Please welcome our panelists with a big round of applause. And over to you.
Thank you so much. So can I just request Team WAF to just remove these extra, these empty chairs? भैया किस्सा कुर्सी का होता है, कुर्सी खाली अच्छी नहीं लगती. So Gaurav is actually unwell, so he could not join us. So, in earlier days you could join in despite fever to show one's commitment. These days, like, नहीं यार घर ही रहो यार का fever है तो, how things have changed. So, we told him speedy recovery, and of course the events will keep pouring in, coming in. So friends, as you've just seen the topic is AI in action at automotive manufacturing. And of course, no manufacturing is complete without the support processes, which are, you have to have, of course, a bit of R&D. You have, not a bit, a huge amount of R&D. Which country unit the R&D comes is a different thing. Then you, of course, have to have the supply chains, procurement, just in line, direct online. And then, of course, you begin to produce, then the production. In production, manufacturing, there are important elements like how different functions on the assembly line are connected. Talking about assembly line apne mein hi as a concept came much later. If you see in the 19th century, the industry revolution, the industry 1.0, as they said, powered by water and steam. And then, of course, the industry 2.0, when we had the assembly line for the first time ever, when we had cars like Model T rolling out of the assembly line, and the entire world woke up to it. Then, of course, industry 3.0, when you had the robotics coming first time on the assembly line, and so the unfair advantage of working with General Motors in the past. So General Motors had pioneered the robots on the assembly line during the late 50s and 60s. And now, of course, you are at industry 4.0, industry 5.0 coming very soon. So now you are at the sweet spot of cloud, IoT, and AI. In AI, it is, whether it's AI or ML or AI and ML. In ML, it is those advanced neural networks, deep learning. You have concepts. As they say, you watch any video on YouTube, good sources, credible, Stanford, this, that, top authority on AI. Or you listen to our authorities here. They all swear by Gen AI. They all swear by conversational AI. So how is it powering manufacturing? Various departments within manufacturing. I remember during my Honda days, it used to be said that weld shop se gaadi agar paint shop mein chali gayi, it is paint shop's duty to ensure all the quality controls are in place. Moment that welded body is in the paint shop and there is some defect, then it's no more the responsibility of weld shop. It is on paint shop. Why did you accept one with defects? So in this kind of a scenario, cutthroat, competitive, PPMs, how is this sweet spot of AI, IoT, cloud triggering in? Quality control, vehicle inspection, it has always been thanks to a human eye. Now you have the computer vision, how it is powering that. Logistics, manufacturing, robots, everything. So it's a huge gamut. But in that huge gamut, बातें बहुत होती हैं, हवाबाजी बहुत है. But actual ground level पे क्या action है? That's what we want to know from our top leaders of the industry. So if we can begin with Sethi Saab on this. Sethi Saab is an industry stalwart. So Sethi Saab, a few words on AI in action in manufacturing.
Thank you, Anuj. Good morning, everyone. I think the way you put it right up front, बातें बहुत हो रही हैं, काम कम हो रहा है. That's actually reality. So there are a lot of companies who are doing a lot of pilots. Some have done reasonably good amount of work, especially on the retail side. But coming back to manufacturing, so manufacturing, what really happens is, and I'll just first take manufacturing, supply chain, and others will keep out for a minute. So from an auto industry, and that's true for many other industries also, one of the key things is how do I ensure OE, and how can my OE be the, and that's where I think AI is playing in a lot of companies. I'll not name the companies. Playing a reasonably good role. So OE has three components, as all of us know: availability, performance, and quality. Quality you spoke about. So the car, the Honda car, I have two Honda guys sitting around me. So, or for that matter, any other vehicle, it's really difficult to do all those testings manually. So the companies have already deployed, of course, vision cameras with AI and various other techniques using ML where the entire algorithm keeps on upgrading itself because the models are changing, even the kind of defects, and then it links with the performance of the machine. Okay, at that time on the machine, either the temperature was less high, current was, voltage was, or any other parameter, the oil, others. So you actually correlate these two, which is impossible to do under manual conditions. And that's what I know some companies are already, I'll not name any company of course, but some companies are already doing that stuff where the focus on the quality control is very, very high using AI. On the performance side, of course, we know that whether it is to ensure that the machine is running fine and all those parameters using IoT sensors you can pick up. But the third is the availability, which again becomes a major concern, because a lot of times while we may think that machines are new, but reality is on the shop floor in a lot of companies the machines are quite old. You can always IoT enable them and get all the data, and that's where the predictive maintenance and the entire ensuring that the machine runs for a longer time. So AI is again playing a major role in this. So all the three components of OE, quality, performance and availability, there are companies in India, in NCR I'll say, who are doing pilots and some bit of work. Some of the guys are sitting in this room also, I'm aware of it. So that's actually in action.
तो
but the reality is,
हाँ जी,
the kind of power that AI has, is it being explored today? No. Answer is no.
यही पूछना था मुझे.
Answer is no. Even I could maybe sense your question. As I said, it is POCs or some bit of work being done, but बातें ज़्यादा, काम कम.
ओके, सो बातें ज़्यादा हैं, काम कम है, पर हम अपना वीकेंड आज इस प्रोग्राम को दे रहे हैं. सो हमारा उद्देश्य यही है, इट इज़ आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि बातें भी हों, काम भी हो. देखो, द बातें हैव टू बी बिफोर द काम, अदरवाइज काम might make us lose our calm. So coming to Hilal san on that, so Hilal san, you know, the entire world swears by Japanese production systems, you know, whether it's TPS or, you know, Honda, they have been experts. The entire world, you know, emulates Japanese manufacturing system. So जैसे वो डायलॉग था, दिल चाहता है, मैं आमिर खान कहता है कि परफेक्ट को और इम्प्रूव करना इम्पॉसिबल होता है. So ऐसा थॉट कभी आता है कि AI आ जाए, कुछ भी आ जाए, वी आर ऑलरेडी सो गुड, what more can be done, उल्टा कहीं डेटा हैक ना हो जाए, सब कुछ क्लाउड पे चला गया, you know, there could be some bigger serious issues of cyber security. अभी सब ठीक चल रहा है in a closed environment. So how is the industry, the manufacturing taking AI?
Okay, am I audible? Good morning, everybody. So, first of all, it's an honor to sit along with Sethi Saab. He is an industry veteran, and I'm really fortunate to share the dais with him. Sadly, he forgot to mention about himself. So he said that I am sitting with two Honda guys, but as a matter of fact, he's also from, you know, ex-Honda, Hero Honda, right?
He was the hero there.
Yeah, he was the hero there. Okay. IT later, maths first. काम बाद में, बातें पहले. So, you know, I was just doing a little math that we have 1 hour of session, we have 5 panelists, 60 divided by 5 is equal to 12 minutes. Unfortunately, 2 people could not join. So I am going to speak more, so यहाँ पे भी बातें ज़्यादा हो जाएंगी, unfortunately. Anyways, before I talk about AIT, and I seriously talk about AI, it's really very important for me to talk about data. Because unless we talk about the data, forget about, you know, Japanese or Germans or Koreans or Americans. Unless we focus about data, we talk about data, we work on data, the complete, you know, strategy related to AI, the use case related to AI or deployment related to AI is going to be a problem. When we talk about data, and I'm not saying that it's a sequential or linear journey, data, information, dashboard, analytics, AI, generative AI, the base for anything and everything is data. And honestly speaking, you know, I'm sharing the very first experience of my life without naming the name or the company. When I was doing my engineering as a part of engineering, I was supposed to do a 6-month, you know, training program. And during the 6 month of training program, I was supposed to develop a personal information system. And once I completed it, the general manager of the HR, he said that he wants to see that project because he offered me a job there. So I have shown him the product. He really liked the product. And he said that, what all are the features? So I said, it's a general personal information system. You can understand how many males, how many female, in how many, age group, in which department you have people. So he said that I want to understand the, people in different age groups in the company. And hence, he said that, please show me this particular feature. It was having 4 particular, options: people more than X, less than Y, something like that. So, he was interested in one particular, age group. So he said that, I want to understand people below 10 years of age. And he put the age as 10. He clicked the button. There were number of people less than 10 years of age, and his name was on top. So he said, what rubbish. This is the kind of solution you have developed. So I said, look at the quality of the data. The simple logic was system date or today's date minus your date of birth divided by 365 is your age. Since the date of birth was vacant or it was blank, so this is how it calculated. Why I gave such a long answer is that, we have to definitely talk about the quality of the data. And unless or until we really talk about the quality of the data, it's really not going to work. Coming back to the, industry use cases, especially in the new manufacturing domain, more than a decade and a half back, we have created a quality information control system, and that talks about the journey of the vehicle from your weld shop to paint shop to engine assembly and to the final assembly, and various defects are captured. And these defects are analyzed before the car is actually given for delivery. We have fortunately such a huge set of data, and that data is really helping us giving some kind of information as to what kind of potential defects shop wise, assembly line wise, that we might be having, and how we can ensure that these defects are not there, or how much is the turnaround time for those kind of defects, and how we can ensure that these kind of defects can be taken care of in a much more minimum time. So that's one of the use cases that I have talked about. But honestly speaking, when we talk about manufacturing, the supply chain, the assembly shop, these all are the areas where we are either talking about the quality or the productivity or the efficiency. And the industry is still very much obsessed by the offense side of the business, that's revenue generation. So there are a lot of use cases which we are actually talking about, but most of the use cases are still towards the offense side of the business.
Hilal san, I think a fantastic account that you just shared. This reminds me of the famous Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. If you put light on an electron, it changes its path. So taking a parallel from there, drawing a parallel. If so much of data is being created and taken from all the lines, right from the starting till the final and the vehicle quality. So what is the impact on that line associate or associates who are working on the assembly line? Are they under the impression that they are under constant vigil, that every small muscle movement also of theirs gets recorded, and there's too much of accountability and too much of stress on them? एक भी गलती होगी तो नौकरी पे बात ना आ जाए. What is the human side and the consequences of AI? Something on that?
So I don't know. People are talking about Industry 4.0. Japan has talked about something like Society 5.0. I am not very sure as to how many people have heard about it. So the Society 5.0 is actually considering the human angle of Industry 4.0, and that they have started considering much earlier. And as a matter of fact, how the work is going to be affected. and how in terms of his job security, job fatigueness, or the feeling that he is being observed all the time. To take care of all these, there are various programs, but what I fundamentally believe is that this is how you are actually educating your people. That this is a support system rather than a technology that is actually doing some kind of uh, watching the guys on the shop floor. I mean, that's not the scenario. So things are evolving, and I think it's something that will take some time.
Okay, so that's where possibly the amalgamation or the synergy of AI and NI, natural intelligence, or HI, human intelligence, comes in. So, getting Ajay in the conversation. So, Ajay, you are heading data and analytics at Volvo Eicher. And of course, we have already heard about the stellar My Eicher app that you have. In fact, at Siam, your colleagues were giving me demos and they had that pride on their face that this My Eicher has changed the lives of your network. But first, if you talk about the manufacturing, all the data analytics which you get from your assembly line, manufacturing plants, and these days Volvo Eicher is really hitting the headlines like 1K EV trucks order from Amazon. Even yesterday there was a news, I was checking on WAFit news. So when the manufacturing methodology processes are transforming, how is AI powering them at your organization?
Well, thanks Anuj, thanks for having me. So you talked about, rather you wanted to understand like how AI is helping us in our manufacturing process, how it is bringing efficiency there. So let me just put a couple of perspectives. I think our co-panelist Ajay, Sethi sir talked about it. I'll just take an extension from there. Apart from availability, efficiency and performance, the two areas where AI does play a role where we are able to utilize it. Number one is in the area of designing. How we are able to do it, there is a concept, I'm sure all of us must have heard this term called digital twin. That is where AI becomes a major contributor in terms of how we can improve the design efficiency. If I just put up into one perspective from a timeline or a scale of 1 to 10, how much time a product takes from 1 to 10 in terms of a time scale, design contributes to about 3.5. And if we are able to reduce that, then we can do efficiency improvement automatically and contributes to the cost aspects in a positive way. So that is where it does play a role. It allows us numerous possibilities of designing products. Otherwise, earlier what used to happen, you have to do a physical prototyping, in-lab testing and all those things, which has gone down significantly. Leveraging digital twin as a concept, as a process, rather not as a concept, I'll say it's a process in terms of product design, as well as performance testing. We are able to do that. You can even look at part designing perspective, a component which is used, that is also it is coming. Second, on the human aspect where it is getting utilized is productivity improvement of shop floor person by their skill mapping and contribution in the overall production. So their learning capabilities, their actual efficiency on ground and leveraging with their skill that they have acquired or they should be imparted, all those things can be taken up, which that is where this is getting contributed. And then you will see acceptance of AI comes into the operations as well. Otherwise, it's very difficult for a change management to kick in the overall manufacturing process until unless we're bringing those value aspects. The other area where AI is contributing is in the safety. You can reduce those safety or I'll say accidents in overall manufacturing process if you are able to leverage the positive side, leveraging AI in that. We have seen it is contributing, and I'm sure all of us from a manufacturing or an automotive organization would have seen numerous examples. So we see these are the three areas where it is adding. In terms of the operation efficiency, the MTTF and MTBR is getting reduced to the tune of 20 to 25% by leveraging AI. And this is actual numbers I'm quoting. In terms of an efficiency, we are able to see that it contributes in a 10% way to us. And I'm sure other organizations and manufacturing would be seeing that. So that's how I see it, Anuj, that it brings that value.
Okay, Sethi Saab, so coming back to you, so you are the chairperson of Mentorkart. So many startups you are mentoring. So what is the proportion of startups which are there in AI, one, And in AI, what is their chosen field? Are they focusing on just the analytics part, or on the conservation, conversational AI, or in short, to cut the long story, how many of them are actually working in AI in manufacturing, production, or logistics? Any thoughts on that?
Okay, but before that, let me answer the manual part. What happens to the people who are being...
Bang on, bang on.
I visited one of these shop floors in a company, automotive company, and a particular cell, around 20 odd machines were IoT enabled, and kind of there's some bit of AI being done, and some actions are being taken. I asked the same question to the guys as to how are they feeling, just to tell you as to what exactly. So in fact, it's not a thing that they feel scared. They're not bothered about their job. But what I found in that was they were very happy. They were very proud. हमारी यहाँ की मशीनों को देखो, इन्होंने computerized sensor लगा दिए. So any delegation that comes into our company, they are actually brought into our area and shown that, and we say with pride that our line is one of the most IT enabled or technology enabled. So it's not a lot of times a thing that they'll feel scared, because one of the key things that we need to remember is that a lot of people are not really putting cameras on the individual. The sensors are being put on the machine and the data is being picked from the machine. So the guy is not being washed, the machine is being washed. So moment the distinction comes that the data is being picked from the machine, the guy actually doesn't care and he's happy. So that to answer the practical thing that I've seen personally. And
सर इसमें मैं एक चीज़ पूछना चाहूँगा, जैसे अगेन टेकिंग अ क्यू फ्रॉम बॉलीवुड मूवीज़, कितने बार हम देखते थे 70s 80s की मूवीज़ में खासकर, मशीन में किसी का हाथ आ गया, किसी की टांग आ गई, वे चिल्लाने की आवाज़ आती थी, दे वुड बी ब्लड स्प्लैटर्ड ओवर द मशीन एंड दैट गाय इज permanently disabled and this in a depression, then he will go away from his family. This was actually a reality, or probably still is. अब बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज में तो बहुत सिस्टम प्रोसेस होते हैं, they are also under constant media vigil, पूरे सिस्टम प्रोसेस हैं. बट इंडिया इज़ अ कंट्री ऑफ 96% SME MSME. वहाँ पे अगर फैक्ट्री यूनिट्स में अगर ऐसा कुछ होता है, टेम्परेरी और परमानेंट डिसेबलमेंट, तो इट कैन बी वेरी कन्वीनियंटली पुट अंडर द कारपेट बाय लालाजी एंड हिज टीम. तो how can AI transform employee or production safety there?
That's what I think Ajay also rightly said, that one of the key use cases on the manufacturing, apart from quality, is the safety. Which means that even if the guy is not too careful, can the machine really shut down? That okay, the machine senses that a hand is coming near a particular thing, the machine shuts down, or there's a siren, or something that happens. And that's where AI can play a huge role. Not much is being done in that area, but there's enough and more scope. Coming to other question on the startups, I think two things. One, a lot of startups play a game of valuation. Okay, and anyone who is playing or a lot of them who are playing a game of valuation would put an AI tag over there.
Pre-money, post-money, that's the question.
Pre-money, post-money, kuch bhi money lao, jo marzi le jao. So, but they put a tag of AI, that I am doing something on AI. What in AI? Neither do they understand, neither the investor understands. So
window dressing basically.
So window dressing. So to say as to how many are actually genuinely doing work on AI, percentage-wise, may be difficult. But what I can tell you is that the guys many of these guys who are working on startups in AI or any of these areas, they are really brilliant. We may think that they are just 25, 30-year-old kids, but their ideas are way beyond someone who may have even 30 years experience.
Ready to transform the world, huh?
Absolutely, ready to transform. At least the ideas are there. The key thing is, will they be able to take the idea back into the large organizations and convince the other guy? That's a separate discussion. But lot of people today, not just who have graduated from the college, but in the third year, second year of engineering colleges, they are actually working on a lot of AI stuff today.
Okay. So, Hilal san, coming to you. So we've covered this AI human line associate part in a significant way. We've also covered AI safety, and as Sethi sir mentioned, there is a huge scope of AI playing a role in the assembly line safety, especially in the MSME. There's a huge potential, and AI apps are not that expensive too. So Hilal san, if we can give you the power of Nostradamus, or if you can look into a crystal ball. So, of course, technology में 5 साल 10 साल तो it's like centuries, but next 2-3 years, how do you see AI evolving in manufacturing?
See, I can talk about the potential. It's very difficult for anybody to actually, predict. As you have rightly said that it's not once in a century, once in a millennium kind of, technology. But what I fundamentally believe that, only talking about AI in isolation is not really going to work. It's a combination of ecosystem, and what I believe that, this ecosystem, at least in the area of manufacturing, is a combination of IoT, 5G, edge computing, cloud, analytics, and AI, right? And if you are not having all these elements put together, you may end up getting some kind of results, but that will not be a very holistic picture of what you are actually going to do. So you will be doing some kind of, impulsive transactional work on AI, but if you are having a well structured strategy related to AI over a period of time, then it's really not going to work. Second, I'm not saying that it's a fundamental thumb rule, but it's an enablement that if you are talking about AI in manufacturing, you have to have the industry 4.0 framework in place. So if you are having these 4 or 5 triggers or ecosystem parameters in place, I am sure that in next 10 years of time, at least in the manufacturing space, the AI will be one of the most significant technology that will be playing the role. And I'm very happy that this is the value that a CIO can bring to the table, because our role is not about enablement of the technology. We are not here for the technology deployment. We are here for a business objective and delivering the tangible, quantifiable, measurable business value. And this is one area that will deliver those direct business benefit to the organization.
In fact, this reminds me of, at WAF, we had also created a community called ALLEN. ALLEN stands for Automotive Legal Experts Network. So just the way we have CIOs on stage and off stage today, here, there we have the in-house counsels or general counsels or the lawyers who work, in the organization. They too had a similar thing to say as what Hilal San just mentioned. They said, we are not there in an organization. Those days are gone when it was only compliances, agreements, We have to power and empower the business and the future business strategy. ESG is a very important thing. ESG is not just for boardroom discussion. An MD or a CEO might have created or broken, performance records, but if he or she has stumbled on ESG, those performance records are forgotten and naukri baad aa jati hai. So Ajay, talking about ESG, being so important now in the business fraternity. So again, just the way there is a lot of noise on AI, there's a lot of noise on ESG also. But there are many serious companies, and of course, I'm sure Volvo Eicher is always serious on these kind of issues. So where do you see AI powering the ESG priorities at organizations?
Let me put this way, in terms of the priorities, it is always there. You cannot leave out it. Sustainability is the I'll say is the core part when you look at it. Apart from the other aspect, if you look at how we can look for a waste reduction, how we can look at power consumption reduction, how we can ensure that the environment we are in, we are able to contribute to it. Nowadays, we are talking about those carbon emission credits, CO credits being assigned to organization, and then they will become your asset to, I'll say, what you call Encash in future. That's how people are looking at it. And you talked about that you touched about our product on EV vehicles. So again, what will happen? The states where these buses, these trucks are going to run, they will be monitored from the perspective of carbon emission or carbon credits they will earn. And in future, they will become your asset to Encash. So from a perspective of environment sustainability, it does make a role, and it will play a major role going forward. And we are, again, as a manufacturing organization, nobody can leave it. As of now, they have to embark on it. They have to move with this. I'll just put up one simple thing that, a simple analogy on it. Earlier, we used to have houses without being talked about clubs, party community halls, or apartment complexes. But nowadays, whatever new setups are coming in, you are seeing that these are you're part of basic amenities. That will happen in all new manufacturing setups. That this will become a core when you're going to set up a new any factory or a manufacturing location. It will become part of the basic setup nowadays.
I think that's well said, Ajay. So actually, I also, concur and fully agree with what Ajay has just mentioned. These technologies are actually too addictive. Once you get a taste of them, you cannot imagine doing business without them. Can you imagine working without this? You can leave your home without your wallet. You will not leave your home without this. If you leave your home without this, you will take a U-turn and come back. Yes or no? You will. We have this thing, every few minutes we have to see. Boss ka message, ghar ka message, team members ka message, kuch aaya to nahi hua. WhatsApp might be WhatsApp in our lives, but then as I say, चाकू है, या तो फल काटने के लिए यूज़ कर लो या गर्दन काटने के लिए. इसमें चाकू का क्या कसूर? Similarly, AI. It depends on the intention of the user. It's ethical AI, unethical AI, nothing to do with AI. It is the people who are using. We are going to have the digital privacy law very soon. There's the data fiduciary. What is fiduciary? Relation of trust. When customer is trusting you with his or her data, you are the custodian, you're the trustee. उसका भरोसा नहीं तोड़ना है आपको. That's the most important thing. And AI becoming too addictive, it's also an opportunity where MSME can come and take the benefits, because there are no cost barriers. It's not that expensive. It doesn't cost the earth. So with that, as the screen says, time's up. So last 15, 20 seconds, key takeaways of every speaker. So we can start with you, Ajay.
Sure. I think enough has been said about what it can do. I'll just quickly summarize in terms of why it takes time to adopt. First is change management. Within an organization, within a functions, aligning people together to a common goal to leverage the value of AI. That is the biggest barrier we see that needs to be broken for anybody in any organization to take it up. Second is a skill availability. A lot of startups are coming up, but organization needs to develop their skill to implement it. That's how they have to see it. And third important point is we have manufacturings, machines, setups which are legacy. Solutions which can leverage and bring, I'll say, modernization on the legacy setup can help in its adoption. So with these three, I'll rest my case that these are things should be taken up for improving the adoption.
So there are barriers, there are opportunities. So, while we need to have the right balance between the two, people are talking about, ethical, unethical, cyber security, all those things. I mean, that's the part that will be taken care of. We have to be very, very much conscious about it. But let's focus on the potential, and I'm sure that we are going to see a very bright future.
So AI technology is really maturing very, very fast, both on the software side and on the hardware side. The key thing is, are the organizations really maturing at that pace to ensure that they use AI? And to me, that becomes a bottleneck where the pace at which organizations are either looking at data, looking at their policies, processes, or the cybersecurity compliances and other stuff, that has to catch up. And where change management part, which Ajay has said a couple of times, has to play a huge role where right from the leadership, they have to say that, yes, this is going to impact the bottom line of my organization. Till you actually come back that AI is not for a conference or AI is not for a particular media release, but it is actually going to impact the bottom line of my organization, nobody will. So people have to start with the use case, the value that it brings, and then do a change management and do it. Technology is there. I don't see an issue.
Fantastic. And this brings us to the last point, that the last stumbling block for AI adoption. भाइयों और बहनों, आपका डेटा की क्वालिटी क्या है? Gold in, platinum out, garbage in, super garbage out. So what is the quality of your data? उसमें कितना नॉइज़ है, कितनी क्लैरिटी है, structured, unstructured, labeled, non-labeled. So especially it's very easy to say कि MSME के लिए बहुत बड़े potential है, but MSME का data capturing methodology कैसा है? How good are they on capturing data? Because they have not captured data so much in the past. So as Sethi sir mentioned, we have to mature. Technology is there, it's maturing, but we also have to mature so that we can offer the right data to AI. ठीक है ना जी? अगर आप सब्जी ही बासी यूज़ करोगे, अगर आपके इंग्रेडिएंट्स ही पुराने होंगे तो खाना भी वैसा ही बनेगा. आपके इंग्रेडिएंट्स फ्रेश हैं, आपका खाना भी अच्छा बनेगा. एंड ऑफ कोर्स द लव ऑफ द पर्सन हुज कुकिंग, that goes without saying. So any questions or we wrap up this panel? Any questions, please feel free to ask. And you can also ask, you can also mention name of the speaker if it is specific to someone. Any questions? Okay. चिकारा साहब ने पहले हाथ उठाया था, पीछे चिकारा साहब को, and then आगे our friend in the grey blazer. Yes sir.
So just I was recalling the time of 1984 or 85 when I was working in Toyota assembly lines. So the discussion was getting me remembered that what would be the possible solutions of PPC, production planning and control. What we had been wasting, because I was in assembly line and I was after the PPC fellows that my line is stopped because of this small part or screw. But I believe that PPC will get the maximum benefit of AI when it is integrated with the production or tech time or your assembly line. So I think
great point.
If this panel can also enlighten about the PPC role of AI.
Great point.
I think my thought in this is very clear. If you really have good AI, you don't need PPC. All the work can be done by computers and machines. There's nothing else that's to be done because the data is coming whether from the shop floor or demand or the inventory or the condition of machines and what is there on the line. You don't really need a PPC person.
Yes.
Your computer becomes your PPC man.
And next to it, it was the quality testing. So this quality testing, I'm just talking about the automobile, like we used to see about the brakes, about the headlamp working. Then there was also testing of our suspension. So it was basically checked by the person. But can this AI the test and do the final inspection in objective manner? I think yes.
In a lot of components, it's already been in a lot of components, it's already being done. Even today, the quality checking, because the kind of and that uses cameras a lot. So where with a naked eye you can't even see those defects, or with whatever equipment that you have, you can't get into the details of those defects. So in a lot of cases, AI is already being used at the shop floor for the in-process quality also.
Yes. Yeah.
Finished good quality, I have not seen, as of now I have not seen that where the entire finished good is when it's rolling out. But in-process quality, yes, there are people who are already using
There are companies who are doing in final vehicle quality. In fact, one of the companies had won the WAF award also for that 2 years back. In fact, that gets the onus on the management.
Yes.
Because your defects will actually increase. It's like in a police station, if more FIRs get lodged because more reporting is being done. So that's a call which even the management has to take. They want to think short term or long term. Short term बोलेंगे यार इतने डिफेक्ट आ रहे हैं बंद करो उसको यार
Yes.
कुर्सी खतरे में आ रही है और they say ठीक है we are improving, it's for good, we are improving. So it all boils down to intention.
Yes.
Okay, the gentleman in the front please, here I want to ask a question.
Good morning, Anuj. Commander Verma here. So we haven't actually met.
Commander veteran Aditya.
Yeah. It's been a great discussion. I have a couple of questions which are, as we said, baat nahi karenge. So what I would really like to know is, in terms of customer experience, what are we looking at in the next few years? What is AI going to actually bring on the table for a car user? And there is such a heavy dependency on, I would say, connectivity. Like I won't like to use the name of the the user, but I've got a car which is supposed to have a 4G SIM. Now that sim is supposed to give me some kind of excellent experience, because whatever ML, small chip which is there in the car, it totally depends on connectivity. And most of the time that connectivity is not there. So when we are looking at such, we are promising so much, which is going to be packed into a car. What really is coming around is that there has to be a mechanism in terms of maybe multiple sources of connectivity, switching between 5G, maybe some kind of a Wi-Fi environment. Essentially what I'm trying to drive home is a lot of connectivity. It's finally, because it's an IP-driven device. And then maybe the customer experience would come in. So what are the baby steps we can look at, and how will this maybe evolve?
Okay, connectivity.
So, when you are talking about the customer experience, we can divide it into two parts, the product experience and the service experience. So we have discussed a lot of things about the product experience when we talk about the quality and, things at the assembly line or shop floor. In terms of, service experience or the communication experience, just giving you an example, if your car is connected, we are the pioneer in the connected car space. We are having a lot of remote features. Your car is parked outside, and you believe that, and you know that it's hot outside, and you want to, remotely start your car, remotely start your, air conditioner. You send your car for the service, and you want the, dealer to pick your car, and you actually want to understand as to who is the technician who is assigned to your car, and when your car is in a particular bay, how your car is, operated in that particular bay. All those things are kind of, enabled today in the industry. And there are a lot of use cases, basis your, driving score. A lot of things can be, predicted. Say, for example, we are doing a lot of things around battery, brake pad, and many other things that can give you some kind of, prediction that this is the time when you really need to take care of your, brakes. So there are many things which can actually make you feel good, feel safe, and have fun with the car and the connectivity. So there are a couple of use cases that I have talked about. Similarly, in the space of product, the complete quality parameters are today on a piece of paper, on a piece of data, and the way you are actually embedding technology in your product, that can tell you at the end of the, Sethi talked about the fact, we do not have till now many use cases where we are actually talking about the end product, quality assurance with the help of, the artificial intelligence. But at various, places in the, in the assembly line, you are ensuring through AI, through AR, VR, wherein we are actually ensuring the quality of the product, and we are assuring a much more stable, robust product to our customers.
Just to add to the connectivity part, let's come to that. See, I don't know whether you're aware of edge computing, but people have gone beyond edge computing. It's called edge analytics. Edge analytics means that the data is actually not going to cloud, so you really don't have to depend on that 5G or a LoRaWAN or a 4G SIM or 3G SIM. The sensor itself has the capabilities to do lot of analytics and take action there, and so the data doesn't have to go. So people are already working on edge analytics a lot, moving from edge computing.
So Commander Aditya, eventually it boils down to battery only. Okay, one question here and one at the back.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Commander Aditya, discussion will carry on in the tea break. No worries.
Hello everyone. Myself, Parag Dave from Mumbai. I'm basically from manufacturing industry. I'm a capital goods manufacturer, and I also work for entrepreneurship, micro-industry development, and small companies. So what I wanted to understand, because I got an opportunity to have you experts in front of me. So what is in store for small companies or developing companies? How can they utilize this AI? Because even your company has got many small companies there. So I would also be enlightened, and I can help other companies to get use of this AI and get them developed.
To me, technology is the biggest leveler. Earlier, technology was there only with large companies. Cloud came, anyone can get into this. AI, IoT, add to it, anyone, even the smallest company with just 6 machines, can be as IT enabled, or as IoT enabled, or as AI enabled as a Volkswagen, as we saw over here, or other organizations. Because with a SaaS model, it doesn't actually make any difference. So that's how I see. Very short answer,
You
but
mean to say that even the small company can take equal benefit as a big
absolutely,
company?
absolutely.
Probably more.
Probably more, because
what
the,
would be the
the bureaucracy of the organization and the mindset of the organization of a smaller one would be actually better.
Exactly.
And you don't have to go through those 46 hierarchies and say, उससे भी पूछो, उससे पूछो, उससे पूछो. They'll say PPT lao, ye karo. Over there, this guy will just do it and be done with it.
That's great. Though then I would like to connect later on because I don't want to waste the time, but I can at least use your knowledge and get it to the down people. So
Sethi sir, what we build a consortium of this, and actually work to empower the MSME on this. Because most of them don't have a faintest clue how it's to be done. But they have the budgets and the will.
exactly.
So you are the right man.
Let's do it
No,
together.
I would definitely like to connect.
Sabka
later
saath, sabka vikas.
That's where the India will grow.
All right, one question in the back, and then one more at the back, and then if we want to take a break, we can. Yes, sir.
Sure. First of all, thank you so much for the
Little louder, sir.
Thank you so much for the insightful conversation. And so my question is taking a clue from Anuj actually. Anuj, you said बातें ज़्यादा हो रही हैं, काम ज़्यादा हो रहा है. So
Except in your case, Manish, वहाँ उल्टा है.
so I'm just taking a clue from there. The thing today we are talking AI is because more than a decades now, AI was being talked about now. A lot of work is happening in the AI, and that's why probably we are meeting here and talking. So on the same lines, if I see, there are a lot of these frameworks, which are available, which has actually, propelled the whole, the speed of this AI in terms of, the development and the adoption to making it more a reality. So on the manufacturing side, I'm sure every manufacturing OEM building something of their own, some proprietary, but also is there any open source framework sort of a thing that you are probably using, you want to share about it, or are there any plans you kind of coming together and sharing it with the others so that a further a faster development as an industry can see in this whole AI side of it?
अभी डाल दो आप ChatGPT में. Give me your source code to build an IoT AI controlled software for these many machines CNC. आ जाएगा आपके पास code?
I wish. No, I think there is a lot which is work done at the back beyond the generative AI. So.
Okay, so
any
open source.
Framework, or any plans to put it up?
So let me give you a perspective from a positive side. Lot of AI or maximum amount of work which has been done using AI or being leveraged is using open source platform or technologies only. So it is available. As I said, it is available. We just have to identify which area we want to take it up and develop that. Skill and domain are two aspects that you have to bring in. Technology is there for us to consume. Nobody can get you domain from outside, they can get you perspective. You know your business better. You know your requirements better. You know your key value aspects better than anybody else. You can get a perspective from outside, but as I said, domain and skill you have, technology is available, open source is available.
इसमें अजय इसमें ना एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन कई MSME हमें पूछते हैं. They say that if open source is available far and wide, very good. But they say if we use open source to build some application, we start using it. Point number one, our data is going on the cloud. What is the cybersecurity aspect? Have we signed up for the data to go to them also? So what is their eye on our processes? Number one. Number two, मतलब कहीं से legal notice ना आ जाए that you are using our open architecture for profit, hence now okay X million dollars please give to us or stop right away. So these are two primary concerns these guys have.
Very valid points. Number one, in terms of the data aspects or data privacy or protection aspects, with Data Protection Act becoming a reality in India, so it has given a clarity, rather it has given up more opportunities for us to work. So it has given a clarity what we should do. Earlier, people used to take a reference of GDPR, which is a golden standard in terms of this privacy and protection aspects, which gave a lot of perspective for us. These solutions which are available, be it on-prem or be it on cloud, all are compliant to that. It's up to us how we want to take it up. So it's not a complex. Yeah, lot of, I'll say, a digital work to be done in that. I'll not say paperwork, but a digital work to be done to get that compliant part. But it is fairly mid-level complexity now. Number two, nobody is putting an eye onto your data if you put the right security or of your setup in terms of parameter, application data. You bring in all three layers of security into your application setup, you will find that you are protected at a decent level. Nobody even thought about that ransomware, which attack most of the organization, can bring certain organizations or individuals to their foot. So shall we not use the cloud, the open source? The answer is no. Answer is we need to be more vigilant and keep updating ourselves to protect from that angle.
Just wanted to add,
Sure.
Open source versus open API. How to have a balance between the two.
Precisely.
Many hyperscalers today, they are having specialized cloud offerings. For example, IoT for auto. And the idea is that once you are having the specialized cloud offering, why you are trying to reinvent the wheel? The industry or the ecosystem, they are creating lot many solutions, and if the APIs are open, you can quickly consume it. So I rest my case between open use of open source vis-a-vis open APIs, and lot of work can be done as a combination of the two.
On the cybersecurity front, I can only tell you that for most of the organizations, the SME sector and maybe a lot of medium companies, the level of cybersecurity is so low that if they go to cloud, actually they'll be improving their cybersecurity in a big way.
बताओ. On the contrary, it will improve.
90% के पास पॉलिसी भी नहीं होगी, या पॉलिसी होगी इंटरनेट से डाउनलोड करके कुछ लगा रखी होगी just to show to somebody. Forget the deployment part of it at that level. So actually, it will help them to be more secure. It's just a question of mindset, nothing else.
सारा खेल सोच का है दोस्तों. Okay, so भाई लोगों, टी कॉफ़ी के टाइम है, देख लो, लंच लेट हो जाएगा, मुझे मत बोलना फिर कि पेट में चूहे कूद रहे हैं. So questions can continue in the tea coffee. So Anita ma'am, over to you, all yours. Thanks a ton, gentlemen. I think a fantastic discussion, and great key takeaways for all. Yes or no? Maza aaya? Fantastic.
Thank you, gentlemen. Please stay on stage because I'd like to invite Mr. Ashok Tarawat, Senior General Manager, Sovereign Solutions, to come to the stage and felicitate our panelists. Also, if there is a rep from Volkswagen, someone from Volkswagen, if there is someone. Right, sir, please. Mr. Vijay Sethi. Mr. Ajay Mittal. Round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Hilal Khan. A round of applause for our panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Sir, a photo, please, that's mandatory. Thank you, gentlemen.